Yo, I wanted to make a quick video going over all of the different Sunny Sundays that MapleStory has to offer. If you know how to utilize Sunny Sundays properly, you can progress way faster. So it's really important to know what Sunny Sundays are and how to utilize them properly. So by the end of this video, you should know how to do all of that, and I hope it helps you out. Obviously, if this video helped you out, make sure to help me out by subscribing or sharing it with a lot of people, and let's get into it. So first of all, we got to talk about what Sunny Sundays actually are. So you're going to hear this term a lot on MapleStory, Sunny Sunday, like, oh, wait for the Sunny Sundays, new patch, new Sunny Sundays, whatever. So if you go on the official MapleStory website and you click the news tab, and then under the update tab, every single time there's a big update to MapleStory, like there's a new patch, they release patch notes, and in the patch notes, there's a Sunny Sunday hyperlink that tells you what all the upcoming Sunny Sundays are for the duration of the event. So right now, because we are in the Bugcat Kapu event, we have Sunny Sundays that we know from September 1st to October 6th. So this also tells you when the next patch will be, because the last Sunny Sunday is October 6th, which means that the next patch will be the following week after that, because we would need a new set of Sunny Sundays as well. Now, Sunny Sundays, what they are is Sunday in game. There's going to be a bonus event that helps you progress or makes things easier for you. And there's a lot of different types of these, so we're going to go over all of them. So I made a list of what I think are the most important Sunny Sundays and categorize them by what they do. So the first one that I want to talk about is the OnePlus One Event, or on the website it'll say 2-star for 10, but people usually refer to it as OnePlus One Event. So what is the OnePlus One Event? Why is it good? How do you utilize it properly? So the OnePlus One Event is actually the best event to getting to 15 stars, or one of the best events to getting to 15 stars, and is the best event for getting Starforce on your mules, like on all of your Legion characters, so you can increase the CP on them and thus increasing your total raid power across your account. And it's really useful for either very early game players that are just trying to get their gear to 12 stars, or end gamers that want to get every single one of their characters on their whole account to 12-star gear, so your raid power increases. So how a 1+1 event works is, let's say you are going to Starforce a blank item that's really low stars, like let's say the slime ring. Instead of succeeding and going from 0 to 1 star, I would actually go from 0 to 2 stars. So I would get 2 stars every single time I succeed until I hit 12 stars. So let's say it was 10 stars, I would tap it and it would go from 10 to 12, and then that's it. The rest is the same. So it's really good for getting early game gear to 12 really cheap, or it's really good for getting 12-star gear across literally all of your characters, so that your raid power increases a lot, because raid power is based off of CP, and CP increases with Starforce. Now the next two that I want to talk about is 30% off and 5, 10, 15. So these two are different Starforce events that happen pretty frequently, and most people save for these types of events so that you can enhance your gear to 22 stars, 21 stars, 19, 17, whatever it is. Usually people will bank on these events to make the most out of their mesos to get stronger. And these events always get compared to each other. What's better, 30% off or 5, 10, 15? The thing is though, this is just simple math. Like, this is not like an opinion or anything like that. There are Starforce calculators that tell you which one is better, and I'll prove to you right now which one is better. So we are on this Starforcing calculator, linked below of course, and we're going to use it to determine which one is better, 30% off or 5, 10, 15. So let's say we are doing CRA gear, which is level 150, and we are star catching, obviously, because you should always star catch, and we're not safeguarding because we have a lot of spares. It's currently 0 stars and we want to get it to 22. We don't have the MVP discount. We're on the GMS server and it's a 30% off event, and let's press calculate. So you could see it says around 10.3 billion mesos average and 7.2 billion mesos median. Average booms is 6, median booms is 4. Okay, now let's look at 5, 10, 15. Calculate. Almost the exact same amount of money, slightly less, like very slightly less. Still around 10 bill, still around 7.5 bill for the median. But the booms are way less. It went from average 6 point something booms to around less than 4 average booms, and the median is 2. So you can see that 5, 10, 15 and 30% off, when it comes to specifically items that you don't safeguard, are almost the exact same. In fact, 5, 10, 15 is still a little bit better because you boom less. So the only situation which 30% off is better, or just as good or is even acceptable to star in are these two situations. 30% off is only good or equal to 5, 10, 15 if you are starring gear specifically only to 15 stars, or you are starring fodder gear to 22. So fodder gear is anything that you're using to transfer to another item, or items that you just have infinite of, like CRA or pink bean belts if you're stacking for superior goal expel. So stuff that you don't safeguard, stuff that you do not safeguard. There's actually a secret third way that makes 30% off Starforcing a lot better, and it's by subscribing to the channel. Hey, I don't make the rules, but I have heard from the streets, or maybe from Hennessy's streets, or wherever I've heard in the Maple world, that subscribing to the channel increases your Starforce luck. Hey, you don't lose anything. Might as well try it out. Stop booming and stop trolling and sub up. Also pull up to the Twitch. Back to the video. 30%, 5, 10, 15 are actually the same when it comes to going to 22 and not safeguarding. But let's say you actually are safeguarding, right? So let's go back to 30% off. But this time you are safeguarding an item to 22, right? Like let's say it's arcane. So let's make it a level 200 item, and you are safeguarding and you're trying to get it to 22 on 30% off. Calculate 34.9 bill average, 24.9 bill median, and 2 to 2.5 booms, which is what's expected. But if you were to do it on 5, 10, 15 instead, you are safeguarding significantly less meso, 29 bill, 21 bill average, and the booms are still about the same because you're still safeguarding. So obviously it would be about the same. So basically, if you are ever safeguarding an item, 5, 10, 15 is better. If you are ever going to 22, 5, 10, 15 is probably better because you save spares. Basically what I'm saying is 30% off is low-key a scam event. Like it's low-key a scam event. Like don't fall for these 30% off scam events. The best way that I use 30% off is getting items to 15 and preparing it for 5, 10, 15. Now, another thing about 30% that is very, very important to know is the 30% off. It doesn't mean that you're getting 30% off of the meso cost of the item. This superior ring, for example, if I were to tap it, it's 35 mil meso base. Well, because I have MVP, there's like a slight discount, right? But if I safeguard it, it doubles. It goes from 35 to 70 mil, so it doubles. If it's a 30% off, it only reduces 30% off of the base. If you were to safeguard it, the double still applies, and the double applies from the base amount, not the 30% off amount. So what does that mean? So let's use some easier numbers so it's easier to understand. Let's say I want to Starforce something from 15 to 16 stars, right? And it costs me 100 mesos to tap from 15 to 16. Now, if I were to check the safeguarding box, the price would be 200 mil, right? Because safeguarding doubles the cost. But if there's a 30% off event, this price would go to 70 mil. And then if I were to check the box to safeguard it, you would think that it goes to 140 mil mesos. That's not how it works. It still takes the double from this, from the original base, and it would be actually 170 mil mesos if you were to safeguard it on a 30% off. So honestly, if you're safeguarding on a 30% off, you're not even getting 30% off. Like it's low-key a scam event. So I would highly recommend not doing 30% off, especially if you're safeguarding. The main use that I would really use it for is going from 0 to 15 and then leaving your items there until 5, 10, 15 comes. Or if you have unlimited spares of something, you could try to get it to 22. So acceptable items to do that is like CRA and belts, or maybe reinforced earrings if you have a lot of them. And like that's pretty much it. Like everything else, I would highly recommend just using 5, 10, 15 for it. Which leads me to the next Sunny Sunday, 5, 10, 15. What is 5, 10, 15? So 5, 10, 15 gives you a 100% chance to pass Starforce from 5 to 6 star, from 10 to 11 star, and the big one is from 15 to 16 star. From 15 to 16, it's a 100% chance to pass. You don't have to safeguard it. You don't even have to star catch, nothing, which saves you a huge amount of money because that means you are safeguarding one less star, which means you are saving yourself from spending double on a whole star, and you don't boom it either. So you don't even have to worry about booming. So instead of having two really expensive stars to safeguard, 15 and 16, you only have to do safeguard from 16 to 17, which saves you a ton of money. So this event is actually way, way, way better. You saw it in the calculator before, how much extra money it saves you. If you save on the arcanes, for example, when we looked at the calculator, 6 bill per arcane, that's 24 billion mesos on each armor. That's a lot of money you just saved just for doing on 5 to 15 instead of 30% off. Is this you wasting your own precious time making food for yourself? Stop wasting your time and get back to farming for MapleStory gains. If you spend even an hour hour a day making food for yourself, you're missing out on up to 4.5 billion mesos and like 200 frags a week. That's why I partnered up with Factor to help save you time and get more gains in MapleStory with fresh, never frozen meals straight to your door. I tried it myself and it saved me lots of time and therefore made me get more gains on Maple. My own community loves it too. So stop trolling and wasting your mesos. Get 50% off your first order and 20% off the next month of orders using my link below. Thank you, Factor, and thank you so much for watching this, and let's get back to the video. Now, Shining Starforce is the best Starforce event out of all of them. And what Shining Starforce is it's 30% off and 5, 10, 15 together. It's both of them at once. So it is the ultimate Starforcing event. And you can go from like nothing to full 22 on this event if you save for it properly and you have enough spares. The thing is with Shining Starforce is it's a very rare event. It only happens 2 times a year. It usually happens during the big patches, so the summer patch and the winter patch. And what that means is it usually happens in like June-ish to December-ish. Usually that's when it happens. So that's like the big one. That's the big one, and that's the most OP one. So if you have the opportunity to save for Shining Starforce and you know it's coming up, like for example, as you're making this video, it's in the middle of September and Shining Starforce is probably 2.5 to 3 months away, probably most likely, and you're thinking about making like some really big gains for your account, I would say like maybe start saving a month before, month and a half before, or something like that, so that you can utilize this big OP event. Usually what they do, these rats at Exxon, usually what they do is they pair like a 30% off a couple weeks before the Shining Starforce to like bait you, bro. I swear to God. But like, don't fall for it. And if you're watching my stream, you would know this, by the way. All right, moving on to Mag Soul event. So what is Mag Soul event? I have a whole video on Mag Souls if you don't know what they are. But basically, during a Mag Soul event, you have these like soul shards that you can open to try and get a magnificent soul. And if you were to double click the soul shard, it shows you the rates of each soul. And at the bottom, there's the magnificent soul, which is the best version of the soul, basically. And there's only a 1% chance to get it every single time you try. But on a 5x Mag Soul event, the chance of hitting it is 5 times higher. So what everybody does is they save all their souls that they get week after week after week, and they open them all on a Mag Soul event to try and get the magnificent version because it's a 5 times chance of hitting. Pretty easy to understand. Next up, we have 50% off ability reset. So 50% off ability reset is actually really good for trying to roll your inner abilities, especially your either your first line or your third line. So if you look on the bottom right, you have your inner abilities here. The top line is always legendary, and then second and third line could be epic or unique. And if I were to want to re-roll this, it would cost me 8,000, which is a lot, right? But on a 50% off event, it would cost 4,000. So it just saves you a ton of honor, gives you double the amount of chance of rolling. So usually what I tell people is just try to get your first line. Like for example, if you're farming a lot, just try to get like a meso line, and that's it. And then just stack up honor and wait for a inner event, and then that's when you try to get like your second or third line as well. Next up is Rune Exp Event, and the following ones we're going to be talking about is about training and EXP. So Rune Exp Event, what it does is whenever you get a rune, instead of the rune giving you bonus 100% EXP, so right now if you look at my additional EXP obtained, I'm at 214%. If I get this rune, I'll be at 314%. As you can see on the EXP breakdown, you can see the rune, it's under the skills, is a bonus 100%. But during a rune event, it would be plus 200% every time you get a rune instead of plus 100%. So these types of Sunny Sundays are super good for training, especially people who train a lot, because you'll get more runes and more value from the event. And it's actually a pretty significant amount of EXP increase. Essentially, instead of runes giving you 2x, they give you 3x. Next up is 50% Monster Park and 250% Monster Park. So whenever you do Monster Park, you get a bunch of XP just for clearing, but during these Sunny Sundays, you get even more XP. So if it's 50% more, that means you get 50% more XP. And if it's 250% more, that means you get 250% more XP, which is a huge amount of XP. And this also works on Monster Park Extreme. So that means Monster Park Extreme gives you way more XP. So if it's a Sunday, make sure you absolutely do Monster Park like every single time, because not only do you get the Sunday boxes, which is giving you 2x and it's really important, but you could get way more XP and it's super important. I actually utilized Monster Park to get a lot of my characters to 220 and beyond just from doing Monster Park and dailies on them. I managed to get a lot of characters 220 just because I was super consistent with it every single day. Next up is 2x/3x Polo Frito Especia. So sometimes it's a 2x event for these portals and sometimes it's a 3x event for these portals in the Sunny Sunday. And essentially what it does is it makes the portal XP a lot more. Very, very simple to understand. So what I'm talking about are these portals. You'll see them as you're training Inferno Wolf, Polo and Friddle, and Especia. These types of portals will just give you way more XP and it's worth entering them, especially on these events. This purple one, the Especia portal, is the most broken one. You should always enter this anytime you see it. It gives you a stupid amount of XP. Now the next two pertain to monster collection, which isn't too important in this game, but I'm gonna mention it anyways because some people really care about monster collection. So there's the Mysterious Monster Bloom and 2x Monster Collection Chance. So basically what monster collection is when you kill monsters, there's a chance that you can collect them in the monster collection, and basically there's a 2x chance to get the monster that you want. So people who are like completionists and they want to complete all the monsters, this is your event for you because there's a double chance to get it, and obviously there's rewards if you collect entire sets for certain areas that you can get. And then for the Mysterious Monster Bloom, it's basically this item that you can get. You get 3 of them, and there's a chance that it gives you a box that has a bunch of random rewards in it that you could get from monster collection, or you could get an additional monster added to your monster collection, like a random one. So it's whatever, to be honest with you. And then the last one I want to talk about is Event 2x. So what does Event 2x mean? Usually whatever event is going on, there is a 2x amplification to that event on Sundays. So for example, in the current event, we have the 30-year anniversary event, and every single day when you check in, you get 365 EXP vouchers. But on Sundays, you get double. You get 2x them out. You get 730 on Sundays. So that's what I mean. Whether it's like the daily coin cap limit is doubled on Sundays, or capping the coins, or the mini game, whatever, it's a lot faster on Sundays, stuff like that. It's usually double the speed on Sundays, whatever the current event is. But that's about it. If you have any questions, please let me know. I feel these are the most important Sunny Sundays that most people should know about and how you can utilize them. You can get way stronger if you use them properly, especially the Starforce events, and you know when they are and you prepare for them and stuff like that. If you are looking for a lot more guides, make sure to subscribe. I have so much stuff on my channel that can help you guys out, and a lot more coming as well. Also, pull up to my stream where you can ask me questions directly and hang out. It's always like a really fun time. And obviously subscribe so you don't miss out on all of those videos. Thank you guys so much for watching and have a wonderful day. Shout out to my members: Blazefire, Shooms, Uju, Shagad, Ravi Espa, Koga, Pabo, Piconir, Jesse B, Dante Victory, Zats, CK, Assassin, Prelman, and Johan. I appreciate you guys so much, and shout out to everyone who made the fan art. Thank you for sending it.